Hey there. Thank you so much for listening to Something Super Spiritual. My name is Jeffrey Peck, and I am a psychic medium. If you are seeking conversation with loved ones on the other side, or discussion about spirituality, life after life, and anything in between, join me as we discuss all things spirit. We are collectively experiencing a spiritual awakening right now and recognizing that we are much, much more than we once believed. We don't die, and life doesn't end. We are eternal spiritual beings living in this crazy 3D virtual world of existence. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So, Anne and Renata, thank you so much for joining me on the Something Super Spiritual podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, we're so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for the invitation.
I feel like we've been trying to talk to you forever.
We have been through all of these technical glitches. We finally did it.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain in Australia, so I think a lot of it's got into our lines here and has caused a few issues.
Yeah.
Right. I've been seeing that on the news.
Yes.
Yep. It's either floods, fire, or drought here.
Mm-hmm. And big bugs.
Big bugs, snakes, killer jellyfish, crocodiles, drop bears. You know, we've got it all here.
Right.
But it is a beautiful place to come and visit.
Totally.
So please come.
Oh, I absolutely will. It's on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list. So Anne and Renata, there's so much to talk about. Like, I don't even know where to start.
Where do we begin? Absolutely.
So, okay, let's start like at the beginning. Like, how did you two find yourselves and make your way into the paranormal world? Has it been a lifelong thing, or is it a later in life thing?
Well, when I was born, no, I won't go that far back. For me, it has been something that has literally followed me forever. As far back as I can remember, I was one of those very jittery children that would be scared by anything and everything. I used to see shadow people. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, very, very terrified and scared. I had to sleep with the nightlight on. And it was something, again, that intrigued me. So even though I didn't know the words or how to express this whole part of my life, I knew that there was something weird going on. And back in the days when you got information from a library, yes, that's how old I am, I would go with my class to the library, and they would go all to one particular spot in the library, and I would head to where all of the spooky stories were and the haunted stuff. So it was me and my little area of books, and I would sit and I would try and work out what in the hell was going on.
Right.
And so only when I sort of really got into my teens and started to explore a little bit more, did I kind of find that, I'm seeing things or feeling things that a lot of other people aren't. And my exploration went on from there. And I did things like going into tarot. So I've been reading tarot for 30 years. I did a lot of personal study. I went into women's groups and taught classes on different types of psychic development as I grew myself and got more in tune with all of that. And it's sort of always just been part of my life. Anne and I got together about 6 or 7 years ago, and we clicked very much because we were on the same page with everything that we were wanting to do. And in that same period of life where we could do the things that we wanted to do. And so this is a profession for us. This is a business for us, where a lot of people can't do that because we all know there is only a very limited amount of money that you can make in this field, and it is nothing sustainable. But we are lucky that we can put all of our effort and all of our dreams and desires and everything that we still want to do into this right now. So it's going to be something that we do until we're actually talking to each other or to other people from the other side.
Yeah, we'll be dead and we'll still be talking to each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I totally get that. So how about you, Anne?
Look, I started having experiences when I was very young. I used to go to my grandparents' house, which was on Aboriginal land. Originally, it was Aboriginal land. And I think what I was seeing was some sort of spirit from the land, and it used to be under the bed, and then it would shoot out through the window, and I'd scream bloody murder, and they'd all come racing in, and like it would move the bed. I fully believed that this was a very real thing that was happening to me. And like Renata, when I got to school eventually, I needed to know more. I would find all the ghost story books I could find. I would read up on it. The kids, in my classes when we got into high school would be going, oh, let's go and do a seance under the stairs. And I'd be going, but what if one of us can actually open a doorway and we don't know what we're doing? So I sort of had this sense of respect for it, even all the way back then. Of course, now if someone said they were holding a seance under the stairs, I'd be there in a flash.
Yes.
That would be my happy place. So I had some friends who were gifted, and they took me along to some spiritualist type of workshops and things like that, and I started to learn more. And then this particular person took me along to a spirit rescue, and next minute I know I'm doing the rescue, and I'm going, hang on. So he was channeling the spirit and I was talking to it, and I'm going, what is going on? And I've got a very logical mind, so I just kept learning more and more. Never thought I was particularly gifted. And then I saw a TV show with gadgets. I went, oh my God, you've got gadgets that can pick up on ghosts. I don't have to rely on these blasted psychics who are telling me all this stuff. And I found my love for technology in the spirit realm. And now I have a business. I have Oz Paratech, which is Australia's largest online paranormal equipment store. So my expertise or my area of joy is flashing lights and buzzing noises.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love all that. Apart from the Victorian seance era, I love that. But yeah, met up with Renata, I think it was actually 7 or 8 years ago now, and she offered to take me down to Sydney for a parapsychological workshop, and I didn't know it terribly well, but a little voice inside my head say, take a step out of your comfort zone and go with her. And I did, and that's where it all blossomed. We've just clicked.
Yeah, so well, the piece de resistance was that I made sandwiches in the car on the way down.
You did. They were very tasty sandwiches too.
So always, if you want to make friends with someone, bring food.
Yeah, particularly
that's it.
But mind you, she did it in this very certain way. She had a little tea towel that she laid across my lap as I was driving. And I'm going, this woman's weird. And they were egg sandwiches on fresh sourdough. It was delicious.
My background is Polish, by the way, and anyone that's Polish will understand exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, sure.
And there was another thing we had that was sort of similar, is that Renata is Polish but married to a Polish husband, and I'm married to a Polish husband, so we could both whinge together about our Polish husbands.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. And you mentioned something earlier, and it was a new thing for me. Hold on. Spirit rescue. What was the spirit rescue? What is the spirit rescue that you were doing?
Okay. So this was a neighbor a couple of doors down from my husband's parents' place, and they were having issues with photos that would go flying off the wall and being smashed. There was this smell. It was just a disgusting smell, and their house was on a cement slab. They'd had plumbers coming in trying to check out where the smell was coming from. They were seeing shadows, and there was all this stuff going on. And Roman knew that I'd gone and done this course with my friend at the spiritualist center, so he got us to go over to the house and talk to them. And my friend Jay, who was a medium, spoke to them, and he said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel the spirit and we'll find out what's going on. So I'm going, well, what do I need to do? So he
You've
just
done a course, you'll be right.
I've got a piece of paper, a certificate of participation. I don't need anything else. So he said, just talk to them like you're going to meet them for the first time and ask questions. I'm like, okay. So with that, he went into trance and he started to channel this entity. And it turned out it was a childhood friend of Barbara, who was the mother of the house there. And sure enough, she had a childhood make-believe friend. And he was concerned for her. There was something going on in her life that he was concerned about, and he was back trying to protect her and look after her. And he was sort of almost poltergeist activity. So I just talked to them and I explained that he was upsetting the family as they were now, and that she's got a good support system around her. Interestingly enough, she's been going through cancer. Yeah, so that's interesting. Anyway, and I just talked to them, and I sort of said they don't want you here because you're really frightening people. And with that, the spirit sort of stepped back and promised that they wouldn't upset the family anymore with these things. And I just talked from my gut instinct and was saying, look, you need to go and continue on your journey. You don't need to hang around here, because I don't know what it's like for you on the other side, but I'm sure there's more things you can be doing than hanging here. And I talked it across and said, head off to the light. You might see some people there that they've been waiting for you for a while. Just go with them. And sure enough, they went off, and you could actually feel the whole room change, and the temperature had plummeted, and it had warmed back up again. And he came out of the trance, and we all felt that it had gone. And sure enough, the smell dissipated over the next couple of days, and they had no more issues. So that was my hook.
Wow.
Into the paranormal world.
That's amazing.
What a start, eh?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I did good.
Totally. That's amazing. So talk to me more about these experiences that you ladies have. There are paranormal shows everywhere now, right? And for the last 20 years, they just keep multiplying. Are they how real are they? I mean, like, when you do your investigations, when you're out there, are you experiencing what we're watching these people supposedly experiencing?
No.
Let me just say about the paranormal TV shows, bullshit. So yeah, no.
And the thing is that they're getting the clicks and they're getting the finance that's required for these shows to be on, and that's completely understandable. They're also raising the bar when it comes to the watchers who are demanding things to get more heavier and more dark and more exciting, because the stuff that you would normally encounter isn't exciting enough to keep the viewers watching.
If it's not demonic, they turn off.
Yeah. And this is the upsetting thing at the moment for people who are truly in this field and trying to do work, because for an example, only a few days ago, we were speaking to a lady who came to us and said that she had something in a home. And we were trying to explain to her that there might be a number of different ways of viewing this, but she had her heart set on the fact that it was a demonic thing because a neighbor's friend had said so. And so I said to her, what experience does your neighbor's friend have? And she said, I don't know. And I said, well, you should ask, because that has now made your mind set on the fact that whatever we say is absolute rubbish, because you need to get rid of this demon that is in your house. And so she's creating her own friction now, and she's creating this sense of unease within the home. And whoever goes in either has to follow her protocol to say, well, you're trying to get rid of a demon and nothing else, or she doesn't really want to have you there and she doesn't want to see the other options that are available. And this is heartbreaking for us, because we are not only taking care of the living people, we are taking care of those that have passed over as well.
Yes.
Those spirits are as important to us as the living people that are here. We want everything to be calm and cool on both sides.
Mhm.
And it's just not happening because the TV shows aren't producing that type of experience, because people kind of really won't watch that.
Yeah, very interestingly, we just did a YouTube series with Isaac Butterfield. He's a comedian, and he asked for one of his subscribers to, if you've got a haunted house, would we come over and investigate? And we are his paranormal investigators. And sure enough, he got a subscriber's house. We went over there, and they put her in shadow so you couldn't see her face. And once again, she's going on, oh, I've caught all this stuff, I've got demonic things happening in the house, and I've got footage of doors closing, and I've got spirit figures appearing in the end of the bed, and I've got all the footage. And they actually allowed the way we did it to go up onto YouTube, where it's more to do with the psychology of the mind and the person, and their history and their grief process and their belief system. And it was a lot of sitting down and talking, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of trying to explain through things, and trying to negate the fear and the that bias that had already been set in place. And that's like trying to crack through concrete. It's
Sure.
really, really hard to do once you are terrified and scared. And once someone or two people or three people, because everyone on Facebook knows exactly what's going on.
They're all experts.
Yes.
When they say that there's something demonic, that's it. That word just sets you off on a course of no return. And for someone to come in and logically say, well, it could be A, B, C, or D, people are going, what are you talking about? This isn't what's going on in a haunting.
That's not what happens on TV.
Happens.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. We become really bad investigators because we don't always find a ghost, or we don't always find a demon when we go out and do an investigation or do a haunted site. And so therefore we're bad.
Oh, wow.
We don't get something at the end of each show.
We're not woke enough.
So speaking of those dark energies, demons, whatever, what is your opinion about all of that? I mean, have you encountered one in real life, in a real setting?
I came close to an energy that we really upset because we got too close to the truth with that particular energy in that particular spot. And then I had to come in and settle things down. So I had to have a chat like Anne did with her spirit rescue and go, look, I'm going to make a promise that the secrets that we revealed, we will never say to anyone. If you make a promise that you stop disturbing this particular place, because it was a work place, a work situation, and these people have to go to work, they have to allow the public into this space, and let's make a pact here that we both do what we're supposed to do, and end of story. And that's how I finished that off. But I would say that would have been the closest that I came to something that was very, very angry and upset. And I have to say angry and upset, like a human emotion.
Yeah, sure.
It wasn't something that was otherworldly, in that it was some sort of ancient entity.
Sure.
This was someone who had lived and now said that this was their home, and we had upset them. And they were angry to the point where they were making, windows rattle, and the energy shifted in the space. And I had to stand there and I had to take it, and I had to show them that I was not going to move and I was not going to be scared, and that I needed to have this conversation to straighten things out.
Wow.
What's your best one?
I too have never come across anything what I would refer to as demonic, because I think if it was truly demonic, I would be sitting in a corner with my bowels loosed everywhere. I've come across negative energies. My theory is that and you may need to bleep it. If you're a dickhead in life, you're going to be a dickhead in death.
Well, that's true.
And if you had been told all your life that you're going to be judged for your sins and your behavior when you die, and you find yourself in the death process, and you're looking at that white light, you're going to go, hell no, I'm not going there because I know what I've done in my life. I'm just going to hang here. And then you suddenly realize that you can influence people. You can put pictures into their mind that create fear or havoc, and feed from that energy that the living humans putting off. I think that sort of soul would tend to stay around and maybe cause mischief and put your darkest fears in your mind and sit back and go, oh, look at that, they think it's a demon. Oh, I like this. So that's my theory. Or that it's human emotion which is on the other side, that they're angry about something, or sad about something, the old unfinished business, all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, I have been scratched, but it was actually quite funny. I know people be going, how could you say being scratched is funny? But we were at a old cemetery in West Wallsend here in Newcastle. And I used to find the car park was far more terrifying than the actual cemetery. This is the very early days of investigating, when there's nowhere else to investigate other than cemeteries, because everyone else wants thousands of dollars for their location. So I had gone back to the car to get something, and it was very dark, and I walked up there by myself, and I had climbed into the back of my car with my butt hanging out. And I've gone, this would be the worst possible time for a ghost to come up behind me and attack me now. And I'm going, please don't scratch me. Please don't scratch me. Don't do anything while I'm doing this. Anyway, nothing happened that I knew at the time. But when I got home, I was getting ready to get in my pajamas, and I found a slice that was probably around 5 inches long, very thin, sliced right across my butt cheek. And I had jeans on. I was belted jeans, and there was no scratching or tear in my jeans or where that could have happened. And I hadn't taken my jeans off while I was out there. So I have no explanation for how I got that slice across my butt, apart from me going, please don't do anything, please don't do anything. And the ghosts have gone, I'm going to do something.
Oh, wow.
That's about all of mine.
And we've been to some very, very haunted locations. So we've traveled around the world as much as we can, and we've been trying to do as many different paranormal experiences as we can. So we've been to Pontefract House in England. We've been to
Ancient Ram Inn,
Chillingham
Castle, Lip Castle.
So we've been to a number of those places that are on the bucket list for paranormal investigators and investigations, and we've done a little bit of our own private time in those spaces, but we've also
investigating.
But we've also attended public investigations in those places, and my goodness, don't you find out some interesting stories about those places when you dig deep?
And that's where we find that out about the True Hauntings podcast, because when we do our True Hauntings, we dig down into the history and the phenomena to find out the truth of what's happening. And then we go and visit these locations like the Skirrid Inn in Wales. All the stories
place
there.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so keep talking. What was this? What was this with this house?
The Skirrid Inn is in Wales, and it's a very old halfway house, I guess.
From about the 1100s.
So travellers would stop at these inns or public houses to spend the night and have meals and then go on their journey. And the Skirrid Inn is one of those beautiful places in Wales, and it is in the most beautiful part of the country, although all of Wales is beautiful. And it's very, very haunted. It's got a big history. Plus, it was well known as a site for a particular judge to come and visit. Judge Jeffries, the hanging judge, who would come and hold court in one of the rooms upstairs.
I think the bedroom I stayed in was the courtroom.
And he would pass judgment on people who had committed crimes in the area, who had been kept locked up in the area until Judge Jeffrey's
Well, there was
arrived.
actually a little room there with it had cell written on it, and it was a little wooden door, and apparently they used to keep them there.
And so you had this staircase that sort of wound around and up into the upstairs area. And in the middle of that was this long space, long drop.
A long drop.
A long drop. And that's where they would then hang people straight away if the judge determined that this person was evil enough to be hanged. And they would then leave that person hanging while everyone went and had a beer in the inn and just celebrated, because that's what you do back in those days. You watch the spectacle, and then you go and have a drink and something to eat. And,
While the
and then you
person's
cut it
dripping
down.
bodily fluids.
So now at the Security Inn, they play on that. This is one of those amazing, beautiful places that allows and welcomes ghost hunters and paranormal investigators to come and spend the evening. And they actually have a rope that hangs in that spot where allegedly people were hanged back in the day. And you can spend the night investigating. And we did.
We did. They were very generous with their, they let us have a bedroom each for the same price, which was just awesome. And then there was another group that came in as well and booked a room. So we were all investigating. It was all good. We all hung out together. But we, in the True Hauntings podcast, we dug down into the actual history, not the urban legend, so to speak.
Right.
And we found out there may have been some furfies. There may have been some not truths there. Or we're not going to ruin it for everyone. Go have a listen to the podcast, Security in Wales.
And the fascinating thing for us is, even though we know the truth of some of these places, we still want to go and visit. We still want to go and see them, because the thing is that the legend part and the history part is only one level. You then have years and years and years of people telling these stories, which create a living, breathing entity on its own. And so you go, no matter whether it was there or it wasn't there, or whether this happened or didn't, we now have this combination of all these things that are going on. And so what energy are we going to encounter? You know, are we going to encounter the one that has been created by the living? Are we going to encounter what was there before? Or is there an in-between? Is there such a mix now that we can't tell the truth from, the history of the place? Yeah.
Wow. So did you experience anything? Did you have any?
We had a few things occur while we were doing the investigation. So we had some tech gear out, and we had some things flash and respond on demand. So when we were asking questions, we got some responses that way. We also know that the other people that were there, who were madly taking lots and lots of photographs, did get some shadow people and some weird things that were going on, and they did manage to get some photographs. When we were overseas the last time, we actually experienced things in the places where we weren't prepared to experience things. So because we were away for a month and we were changing accommodation every 2 or 3 days. So we were sleeping in inns and hotels and places. We went to the Jamaica Inn, which is supposed to be really, really haunted as well. So we were experiencing all of these sites, and we had things happen in the places that were allegedly not historically haunted, rather than those that were historically haunted. So there you go. You just never know.
Yeah. So when you're experiencing these things, you said that some of the equipment would respond.
Yes.
That would be a conscious spirit on the other side, a conscious being, right?
Well, theoretically, yes.
Right.
Yep.
Theoretically, yes. Yeah.
So we ask for what we call intelligent communication.
Yes.
If it's just going off randomly, or if, like, I see a K2, an EMF meter flash, and it seems to be happening intermittently, what I'll do is I'll count the seconds in between to see if there is some sort of signal that is a constant signal, and that's likely to be a man-made thing.
Sure.
And there are some investigators who get very skilled at timing the question, so it looks like the equipment is answering. But we will ask to do different things, like, can you flash just to the yellow color for us? This time, could you flash right up to the red for us? And that way we get a more intelligent response, which is more hopefully something that is communicating with us directly.
And how do you know then, or do you know right away, like, but the difference between a residual energy versus that intelligent energy, the residual being the, like the energetic fingerprint or recording?
I always describe it as like a movie playing, and you can see it, you can hear it, but they can't, because it's film. It's not there.
Yes.
Well, they won't respond intelligently to you. They won't interact with the equipment as you're asking them to. Or if you're using a spirit box, you might say a code word. Could you say the word elephant, please, so that I know you can truly hear me? Well, they're not going to truly hear you, so that word won't come across. So that for me is how I know the difference between a residual and intelligent. You get an intelligent response. It can interact.
Got it. And Renata, with you being sensitive, do you go in and do you tap in with your superpowers? Oh,
it's interesting. In most spaces that I go into, I kind of will often sense whether I think there is something there or not very soon into sort of having to go in. And that doesn't mean there is nothing there. It just means that I'm not getting anything when I'm there. And that's kind of, it's always really tricky, because when places are haunted where there are living people there, like a home, there is already a relationship that has been created, whether those people like it or not, because they're living in the same space that the spirit is living in. And so there is going to be some sort of connection that occurs, and there is going to be interaction all the time. They're there 24 hours a day. It's their home. We walk in a very small period of time, in a window of an hour or so, and we're supposed to have the spirits do everything that's going on just because we're there. We're nothing special. And we have found often that is the quietest time. The spirits will go, hell no. If they think we're going to perform while they're there, no way. And people will call us when we're in the car driving down the road or around the corner going, oh, it started again, and we got nothing. So it's a lot of talking for us. We sit and we talk and we listen to the history, and we try and gauge from that what is actually going on, as well as the experience we're having on a site. Because, like I said, we're there for a very short period of time, and you can never guarantee that something's going to happen when you are there.
Right. So has there ever been an instance for you two where the place was really active? I mean, it's really active, and your fight or flight reflex kicks in and you're like, I am out of here. Have you ever had anything like that?
No, absolutely not. We would buckle down, strap in our seatbelts and go, hit us, come on, give us what you got.
I tend to get a bit on my high horse and tell them off.
I get bored really easily, and I go, come on, guys, come on, I'm here, do something.
I did have a friend once that seemed to get jumped by someone and was sort of non-responsive, and I started telling them off. How dare you do this? You've got no right to do this to my friend. My friend didn't give you permission to do this. And I started telling them off, and they came out.
So we've worked at a local jail for the last 6 years. And
a closed jail.
A closed jail. So it operated for 150 years, saw over 300,000 inmates over its time.
Wow.
And now we have been given permission to do ghost tours there and paranormal events. So we've been working there for over 6 or so years. It's one of the allegedly most haunted places in Australia, called Maitland Jail. And we started off with 1 ghost tour a month. Then we went to 2 ghost tours a month. This month we're doing 6.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so we are there consistently. And let's just say we've got friends there. We
I'm
have
sure.
people, we have spirit friends that come
Yeah,
all
regulars.
the time, regulars that come all the time, and they go, oh, they're here.
I love
Yay!"
that. I love that.
And so we know them by their nicknames. Some of them have nicknames, as you do in jail, which are very, very funny, and they're very rude. So we have to say to people for certain experiments, especially the one that Anne does, which is the Estes experiment in one of the wings, we have to warn people and say they will say naughty words, and they will do that because they are funny. And
it's prison language.
Yeah, and they want to actually, see if you're going to say them.
Completely. Yeah. Yeah.
I always say to them, if you're not comfortable, just say C-bomb, F-bomb, but normally they're loud and proud and they just blurt it out. It's hilarious when you've got 5 people on headphones going, I'm not going to say the word, but you get the idea.
Oh, it's okay. You can. It's okay. It's all good. So will you explain just quickly what the Estes method is for those that might not understand that just yet?
Okay, so this is using a spirit box, and what we do is we connect some headphones into the spirit box, and the people on the headphones become what we call receiver of the spirit message, and their only job is to call out any words that they hear or they think they hear coming through the spirit box. Now, the idea is they have headphones on, so they can't hear what's going on around them. The people that are standing around are asking questions. And if the people with the headphones on start to call out intelligent responses to our questions, we know that we've got some sort of interaction going with the spirit world. So we were very careful not to be led by the words they're saying. So if I've just said, can you tell me what cell number you're in? And they say horse. I go, oh, did you have a horse? That means that the words are leading me. I want them to answer my questions, because you can make anything into a conversation and make it sound like it's a spirit.
Yeah.
But when you get those intelligence back and forth conversations, and we've had some that have gone on for several minutes, back and forth, answering our questions without them being able to hear the question.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Yeah. I love that.
And the thing is that you're dealing with the public who quite often have never experienced this before. They have to be led through the process. So they're told how this works and why we do it. If people come in with a partner, we put one of them on headphones and the other is watching, so that they can then talk back and report back and you know what you said, that this has happened. And that's probably one of the most exciting experiences that we can give to the public at the moment. And everyone just comes out of that going, oh my goodness, because I
always say to them, we can't fake that shit.
No.
Excuse the French. You can't fake it.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. Okay, so you said something else. Let me think. Oh, rats. I think I lost it.
This is why editing is fantastic.
Yes.
About the trip.
Yeah, you were talking about the trip. And that just sounds like that's like a dream trip. That is an absolute dream trip. Like to travel the way you did every 2 to 3 days to another location and all of those experiences.
It sounds fabulous, but let me tell you, traveling that way when you're getting a little bit older and there's big bags involved is agonizing.
And some of the places you don't realize that they have stairs that you cannot climb with bags. Some of the old castles you can literally just get up yourself, let alone a bag.
Especially my ass. I've got a big ass, so it's hard to get up those stairs.
We've learned to really pack lightly and pack a day bag or a night bag where you just literally have the essentials.
Oh, someone's very excited.
Where you just really pack the essentials and you take that
clean knickers and pajamas go up and everything else stays down in the car.
You just can't. You can't. I don't know how these teams travel with 20 bags of
they've got helpers,
investigation equipment and everything. Right. We just go up with whatever can go into a backpack and go, that's it, I'm done.
But we did something slightly different with this last trip to England and Ireland. We did the Naughty Names of England road road trip, and then around those naughty names we would find locations to investigate. So there are some very funny named places in England, and we found this map, or Renata's daughter found the map, and it started off in a little town called Shitterton. And we thought, well, we're going to follow this road trip. So we tried to cram as many in as we could. And of course, we've videoed a lot of this, and it will go onto our YouTube page, which is Anne and Renata Frightfully Good. And we started in Shitterton, and we drove up through Minge Lane and
Fanny Avenue
and Licky End and all these. Oh, what was the other one? Penistone, which we thought was penis stone. And we ended up.
We were corrected.
Yeah, on BBC Radio Sheffield, no less. They heard we were in town. They got us to come on and do an interview. But we were going to end up in a little town in the Orkney Islands, the very top of England, called Twat. But Renata doesn't do ferry boats, and it was going to cost us a bomb to fly over there. And I went, you know what? Let's find another place to end. So she found a little place in Northern Ireland, because we flew across to Ireland, and it's a little town called Muff. So we ended up finishing our naughty names road trip in Muff.
Yes, we did.
And you know, there's some fascinating places to explore in Muff. They've got a distillery, and it's called the Muff Liquor Distillery. So you can actually get T-shirts that says, you know, I've been to Muff Liquor, or we've got T-shirts saying I love Muff, and they've actually got a club there that you can join. So if you love your scuba diving, you can join the Muff Divers Club, which I wish I'd known about at the time, because I would have signed up for that.
This is absolutely 100% true.
This is all real.
It is absolutely glorious. And this was just such a hoot. We love doing this. And the whole thing about Muff is that there's not much of Muff.
Nothing much of Muff.
There's a fantastic ice cream place where you can buy absolutely delicious ice cream and about nothing else. And so we've headed into Muff going, there's got to be a T-shirty somewhere. There has to be.
Yes.
And so we could not leave, because it took us about 2 hours to get there, to get a T-shirt before we left, which we did. We got ripped off for that T-shirt.
Yeah, we did.
We paid way too much money.
It's because I couldn't understand a word he was saying. I have no idea.
We were happy to pay it. We were happy to pay it just to have this T-shirt.
Yeah. And I had it on the other day, because we do our like regular shows and lives that we do on Anne and Renata, and I'd had it on, and I had to race down to the supermarket here to buy some groceries. I forgot I had it on, and it's like, I love Muff all across me. It's a little County Donegal underneath it, but I was getting the weirdest looks.
I'm sure.
little sly smiles, and I'm going, oh no, I've got the T-shirt on.
Yes, Newcastle is not the place to wear T-shirts.
No, they're very bogan.
Oh dear.
Oh God, you guys.
We really try and make things fun, because
Really?
that's who we are.
In case you haven't noticed.
We like to have a laugh, and we have some of the most beautiful people that follow us that understand our way of thinking, I guess. And so we laugh all the way through things.
I love that.
Maybe that's why we don't really attract the demons. Yeah, they go, oh no, not those two.
Could be.
Energy.
Yeah.
we would just laugh at them and go, you think you're funny?
Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Come on.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. Okay, you guys, we're getting close to our hour. This has gone so fast. So I want to talk a little bit more about your haunted podcast, The True Haunting, and your other podcast, The Spooky Sundays. Is that it?
Spooky Sundays, yes.
Okay, so yeah, tell everybody about that and where to find you.
So we have a podcast. We're coming up to our 100th episode before the end of the year, and this is something we are extremely proud of. When we started this, we had no idea how to do a podcast, and we're thrown into it just with three things: do a beginning, a middle, and an end. Off you go. And so we worked our way through it, and we've kind of developed our style. We are very, very proud of the True Hauntings podcast. We have an episode that comes out every Friday, Sydney time, Sydney, Australia time, in the morning. It is available on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere good podcasts can be listened to.
Mhm.
And we also, because we do a radio show here locally in Newcastle, we do a show called Spooky Sundays. It was originally just going to be part of the radio show for Newcastle Live Radio, which is a radio station here in Newcastle, but they decided to actually release that as episodes, weekly episodes as well. So we are now coming up to our 1 year anniversary, or our first birthday in about 2 weeks' time, and we are going to be celebrating as well. And if True Hauntings podcast, and I do have to say to people who are going to be tuning in,
you a warning.
There is a warning. Please do not drive while you are listening, because there are some parts of it that you will hysterically be laughing and you will need to pull over, or you will have a car accident, because we go off into different areas. Really,
I'm a little bit naughty, and I make Renata wheeze, and she can't breathe.
So
I love it.
Spooky Sundays is even worse.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to
We're
say.
naughtier on Spooky Sundays.
Okay, I can't wait to subscribe. I can't wait.
So yes, we would love more subscribers on both of those. That would be awesome, especially people from America. You are our second largest audience, so we are forever grateful to everyone that is listening to True Hauntings at the moment.
And we're just about to hit the 250,000 downloads in 18 months, so we're pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
And talk a little bit about Frightfully Good. Now, I have seen this on YouTube, and you guys are just a riot.
They're very naughty. We've decided to age disgracefully. So what we're doing is, look, first off, people, please be aware, we're doing our best to edit things. At one stage, we did have some managers that came on, and they did some very professional looking clips and videos. It was fabulous.
Really good, yeah.
And then Rona hit, and they basically went under. So we've got these beautiful clips that they've produced, and now we've got the stuff that Renata and I are trying to crack out, which is just ever so slightly amateurish. We've got Steve, which has come on board. He's come on board to help us out, but we're putting up some of our adventures in various states of New South Wales or throughout Australia, and also internationally. And you can see the mischief and the shenanigans we get up to. There's a little bit of ghost hunting in there, but it's more about the journey, not the destination.
And the fact that things don't always work out, and the fact that you can go to places and it's a poop hole, or it's so far away from places and you can't get food, and all of these things that go wrong, which is the honest truth of these things. People make these things look so glossy and wonderful, and sometimes they're just crap, absolute rubbish. So
and when we're traveling in the car, I think that's when the funniest things happen, because we just talk crap to each other, and we've tried to capture some of that so that our people can enjoy our journey.
That's the best.
Yeah, so we do welcome everyone to our YouTube, and you will see the really professional bits, because they've got the most hits.
Although we've got somebody who's offered to do our England stuff for us, and they're professional. They'll do a good job.
Oh yeah, that's great. Are you talking about that big trip you were on?
Yeah, the one we did in April. Yeah.
Now, we are hoping to come to America next year.
We'd love to come this year, but I just don't know whether timing's going to allow it.
So watch out, everyone. And if there are any places that you would like to see two lovely Australian ladies, come and visit.
Old bag.
Ladies.
We call agents of the Antichrist the other day. And what was the other one we got called last night?
Elderly lesbians.
We were called elderly lesbians.
Oh, God.
Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being elderly lesbians. We're just not.
Not for real. This isn't for real, right? This is for real?
For real.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes.
Yeah, we had this is the thing, when we do our lives, if we get trolls on, the trolls never win. They give up and go away. So we had someone called Tarot Destroyer come on, and they were quoting the Bible at us, and we're going, yeah, we agree with you, that's fabulous, but whatever your beliefs is. And anyway, we'd make fun of it, and then somebody came on and said, you think you won against the Tarot Destroyer, but you didn't, because they managed to distract you. And I was going, yeah, because they were funny. We were having a good laugh with them. If you haven't seen our shows before, you obviously haven't worked out. We're all about the humor and having a laugh and bringing joy back to life. And they called us elderly lesbians. So we got T-shirts being made up for our next show, which is elderly lesbians, agents of the Antichrist. It'll be great.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh God. Oh,
I know.
I'm
It's
hot.
always like that. I know. Everyone needs to lie down after us.
This is the best. Oh my God. So okay, so your last piece I know that you want to talk about. Tell everybody about your teaching, your psychic development, your classes.
Yes, so we have a psychic development class that's going at the moment. Yes, believe it, we actually do teach. Amazing. But we did a free 1 hour workshop, which is up on our YouTube channel at Anne and Renata. And you can absolutely go and see that. But we are offering a 3-week course coming up in August, the first Monday, the second Monday, the third Monday of the month.
That's Sydney, Australia time.
Sydney, Australia time. But I mean, if you pay, you can watch the replay at any time that you wish. And we are doing an early bird pricing of just 40 Australian dollars to be part of that. And we would love people to come on in and check out what we do. Please go and watch the free one first, see if you like the way we present things, and then jump on in and be part of our psychic development class.
Where do they go to watch that free one?
On Anne and Renata, Frightfully Good on YouTube. Absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
And we'll have details on how you can join in on the class if you so wish.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this has probably been the funnest podcast that I have done. I mean, that I've hosted and or been on. I mean, my goodness, you too.
Thank you. That gives that gives us the greatest amount of joy. It really does.
It's
really
just,
does.
I just want to reach the screen and give you hugs. I mean, I think I peed my pants a little bit.
Oh, wait till you listen to True Hauntings.
I know. I can't wait.
Even Patrick is hooked on True Hauntings.
Well, if Patrick is, then I will be for sure. Completely. Oh, you two, thank you so much for being here. I do want you to come back again because this has just been a highlight for me. So,
absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you. I do have one more question before you guys go. So on your tour, you mentioned the Pontefract house.
Yes.
And that's the house from is that The Conjuring or is that
no, it's the movie called When the Lights Went Out, I think. It's the Black Monk, the poltergeist, the Pontefract. Poltergeist.
So did you experience anything crazy in there?
No.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say that. Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we did have a great time. I went into the coal chute.
Yes.
Because the coal chute is supposed to be
where Joe got attacked.
Yeah, one of the most haunted places. So I locked myself in the coal chute and I went, come on,
yeah,
do something. And Anne sat on the stairs where there is a lot of activity, allegedly. And we were watching downstairs on CCTV.
Yeah, they had me blindfolded up there. Good-o.
And look, again, we really reiterate it. Our experience is only a very small piece of time when we go into these places, and whether they turn out to be haunted or not, we still want to go there because we do feel that something does go on after this huge length of time when people do tell stories and have experiences. We personally didn't have any really massive experiences there.
I tried hard.
It was a great experience to go there and to do it. It was on our bucket list. We traveled through all of England to get to there, and then we traveled all the way back.
Yes, because we studied at the Arthur Findlay College too. We did a class.
You did?
We had to be in two places, and so it took us like 3 hours to get to the Pontefract House. We stayed there, and then we drove 3 hours back. And we did, through the True Hauntings podcast, if you go to that episode, learn a lot about some of the things that have gone on there. And I don't want to spoil it for people because they really do have to listen.
Yeah.
But when you do listen to it, you'll go, oh, right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to leave it because people are still running a business there, and we don't want to spoil that.
No. Okay, ladies. Oh my gosh, this has been the best hour of my month. So I just, thank you so much for everything.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting us rattle on.
Thank you so much. So appreciated.
Oh, thank you. You too. This has really been so much fun. So, when are you coming out here? What are your plans when you get here?
Well,
what's today? I can go home and pack right now.
In a heartbeat, we would be on a plane and traveling tomorrow if we could, if finances would be available to us.
Yeah.
So we have been asked to speak at the Women's Paranormal Conference, which we were supposed to go to in 2019. And of course, thank you, Rona, that all went to poop.
Yep.
So it got postponed, and she was going to do it this year. And we said, look, it's too soon for us to go to America with the COVID still running rife, and a lot of insurance places won't cover coronavirus, and we just can't afford to go to America and get sick. So we went to England instead, where our health system is covered. So that's why we went there, but we are planning to go next year. Now, the conference is normally the last week of May, first week of June, and it's in West Virginia. So we're hoping to get there. We really want to put our feet on the international circuit and do some speaking. We don't care if we're in a back room to two people. We just want it on our CV.
Hold on. I do.
But and then because always then it's a tax thing for us as well.
That's absolutely right.
Totally.
So if you know anywhere that wants two old bags that can talk really well, we're happy to come. So that's June. We've got a friend getting married in the last weekend of May in England. So we're going to fly to England, do some stuff there, and then hop across over to New York, do some travel there on that side, and then fly back home again. We may fly back to Los Angeles and then fly home. We haven't got that far in planning yet, and we've got to find out whether the conference is still happening.
We do have also a tour that we're going to do in November next year with a group to New Orleans. So that's kind of set that we get. That's going to be a professionally run tour.
The frightfully good haunted holiday.
And
that'll be fun.
So we're going to get there at some point in time, but we would like to come at some earlier at some stage, and maybe do some conferences and things too.
Oh, sure.
So that's a plan for next year.
That sounds like a good plan to me. I wish you were coming to San Francisco.
I love San Francisco.
She's been.
I have been. She's never been to America.
No.
Oh, how fun!
That cherry.
Yes.
I could introduce it to IHOP. It's all good.
Yes.
Denny's. It's all about the food.
Yeah.
I actually prefer Roscoe's chicken and waffles, but that's okay.
Yes. All right, ladies, I'll let you go. This has been so much fun.
I know you have a meeting.
You have another one. So, gosh, this has just been awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad we finally got to talk.
Thank you so much.
We'll happily come on again. So
absolutely,
let us know in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I'll keep you posted. I think it should air. I'm thinking maybe this next Thursday.
Oh, cool. All right, we'll put the post up.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, you two.
Thank you.
Have an amazing weekend.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening to the Something Super Spiritual podcast. If you know someone who would enjoy this episode, please do share it with a friend. For show notes, links, and to purchase a mediumship reading, my website is somethingsuperspiritual.com. You can also easily subscribe and follow the show on your favorite app, sign up for my newsletter for bonus content, and to keep the conversation going, you can easily join the Facebook community. It's all right there at the website, somethingsuperspiritual.com. Signing off for now, namaste.